Greetings, Earthlings. Today I want to get my exercise started with a little rowing. Don't worry, I'm not going to take you through this for very long, but I have a thought for you. I don't really have any unique thoughts, just regurgitated ones that have come from other people. But the last time I got my driver's license, which normally it has a 10-year expiration on it and you just pay and get it renewed, I had a shorter expiration on it whereby I have to go into the DMV and get an eye test. I don't know what else, but it's clear that as we age, things break down, and older people like their independence. They don't like to be told what to do. They like to take care of their own business. And so I'm going to tell you something. I've been studying and watching artificial intelligence, the internet, social media, a great deal, and it's scary. And what I think is that if you need a license to drive a car, you should probably have a license to get on the internet too, especially as you get older, because you're more susceptible to scams. You're lonely, you're susceptible, you're not as perhaps technologically advanced, you're more prone to believe people. So it's a dangerous thing. I mean, you can't have a driver's license and then just get into a semi and expect you're going to be able to drive a semi without killing people yourself. So that's my thought for the day. In the meantime, I'm going to do some rowing.
We're out here taking some nice strokes.
As always, especially if you're older, you should always seek the advice of a physician to determine whether or not you should be exercising and or the amount of your exercise. I've got a doctor and I'll be happy to refer him to you.
Hard here on the right.
Yes, it's okay to exercise.
So when
what you're doing.
give you a little rundown on what it is I'm doing here. I've taken a screen grab of an IFit workout.
Where you're going.
If you don't know what IFit is, it's a pretty good tool that is a standalone product, meaning that you can subscribe to it, and there's all kinds of workouts in there. Yoga, elliptical, bicycle, all kinds of things that are in there that'll help you out. And ideally, they're going to be trainers just like this one here that are going to take you through the process of exercise anywhere from, 10 minutes to 45 minutes. And ideally, you've got equipment that will connect with this app via Bluetooth, as I do. So
that just really means
what you're looking at is,
again, in that lower heart rate zone.
this is connected to my rower, and automatically it will increase or decrease the resistance on my rower as the app dictates. Now you can change that if you want. So for me, 5 is too low. I need to get an anaerobic workout, so I kicked it up to 8, and I got my heart rate up to like 124, 125 maybe.
To take number of strokes.
In her particular
see how many strokes we can get in
training here,
30 minutes.
She suggests that your stroke should be around 22. And in fact, you can see I've got it up to 30.
Again, keeping that
I just,
nice and
I need to get a little bit more out of it
than
what's going on here. It'll tell you the splits. It'll tell you estimated calories that are burned.
Strokes per minute.
My heart rate chest strap will also pair to the rower and to my bike. The cool thing about the bike, when I first got it, is that you can go on all kinds of trips.
I don't mean the stroke rate. Stroke rate stays the same.
And you can do
maybe applying a little bit more
training with people that are in other countries. So I'm in a challenge right now of doing mountain biking in Chile. And
One of
so
the
you've
big
got
workouts
a
that we
trainer
used to
that's
have
on the
US
bike,
team
and in theory
was
you're
30
behind her, but
minutes.
it's really the cameraman, and you're riding
Except
through
it was 30 minutes all out.
the Chilean
and
forest.
The highest cadence you
And
could go,
if
the highest
everything
stroke
works
rating
right, then your bike
was
is
a
going to
22.
respond to whatever it is
And
the
we had to
trainer
watch that
it wants
every
you to
single
do. So my
minute.
bike will do
We were only
inclines or
hitting 22,
declines, and
because
it
if you
will
took
increase in
more than
resistance
22 strokes
according
in that
to what
minute,
the trainer
over
wants you
those
to
30
do.
minutes,
So
you
if you're
had
going
to
up an
come back
incline of
on
2%,
Sunday
your bike will
and
go up
retest.
2%. Really kind of cool.
Good
Although,
times.
after I had the
I think
bike
that's
for a
a
little
tear
while, and I
rolling
bought
down
it
my
used, so
face.
it's older.
Luckily, I never
I
had
think
to
there was a
retest.
class action lawsuit
Did you
with
ever have to
IFit
retest,
where
Stacia?
the software
right,
was
we got
glitchy,
two
and
no's.
indeed it was glitchy. Now it works pretty
Yeah.
good, although
Nice.
my bike is too old, they
And
won't
that,
upgrade it.
interestingly,
But I
did
just
not
take my
feel like a
tablet
jog. I
and
was like a,
I'm wherever
I don't
they
even know how
are,
to
and I
describe it.
manually have to go
A
up or down
sprint
or increase the
where you
resistance
could
or
only
whatever.
take
But it's still
certain
pretty
number of
cool.
steps.
It's fun. It's different. It's not
Anyway, we're
boring.
back on that 20
Now,
to 22.
IFit, I think
Again,
for
making it feel
a family, it's 35
like a
bucks a
nice-
month. I think that's a lot of money, and I refused to do it,
joint
especially
outing.
when I was paying like $5 or $10 a month before. But the good
Yeah,
news
so one of the
is
things
if
you
you
can think
are an
about
older person and
in
that are on
terms of technique
Medicare
is just making
Advantage,
sure when you finish
the
the stroke
IFit app
here,
is free,
that
as well
first thing you're
are
starting,
many other
the first
exercise
movement out of that
applications that you
it's
can
just
get
getting the arms
for
away.
free that have
There's a
a
little bit of a
varying level
misconception that
of expertise and
Now we're gonna go a little bit hard.
ability. So you can sit in a chair and do yoga. You can do
Don't
a
wanna hit
lot
any
of
those
different
trees.
stuff from any one of these programs.
Doing
You can
some
even get a
S's
free
down
gym
the
membership
course.
through Planet
Good, straight.
Fitness. I think Lifetime Fitness too.
All
You
right,
just
so
need to really check your
sometimes
Medicare
I've seen,
Advantage. But in order to do all this,
You know, athletes
you got to be willing to get off
struggle
your ass.
on the rowing
Let me tell you
machine
why
just
that's
because
important.
They have a hard
As
time.
I got older,
bringing the
all
rate
my
down,
sins have come
which you think,
to pass.
hey, if I'm
My
jogging, that should be easy.
ankle is completely shattered.
But
The Navy fixed that
We really just want
for
to
me
think that there's a
40
sequence
years
to
ago, but they
everything.
told me I was going to
So
have
we finish
issues
the
with it
stroke,
later
we
on,
get
and
the
as
hands
a
in
result,
line,
I'm on disability
and
from
then
the
the body
military.
comes forward.
Also, I have
What
bad
happens
knees.
next?
You
Then
know
the
what?
knees
If you
come up.
run, if you play
So
football,
we're
if you jump
thinking,
out of
here,
helicopters,
arms,
if you do
body,
anything
legs come up.
that's
Arms,
strenuous
body,
over a period of time,
legs
your
come
knees are going to go out on you. My hips are going out on me.
Sometimes
It might
it
seem like
feel
it's
a little bit mechanical
counterintuitive
or
to
mechanical,
get exercise, but the
but
reality is it
if
helps
you're able to
a
kind
bunch.
of
I am
separate
prescribed
those three
naproxen
things,
as an
then you'll be
anti-inflammatory.
able to hit that
Supposed to be able to take it twice a
20
day, but I take
or
it
22
maybe once a week.
stroke rating a little bit easier.
And it helps. Sometimes I need it.
might feel
Most
that
of the times I just
you can
grin
kinda
through it.
get
But
that
the
rhythm
reality is if I get on my
Just a
bike
little easier.
and I do a nice brisk workout, either
Most
the
of the time
stationary
when
bike or my bike
We do
outside,
our steady state or that kind of
and burn
volume
500 to
stuff.
1,000 calories,
when we're not doing a
man,
30-minute test.
I feel great. My knees feel
we do
great.
about
Ankle feels
in the
great.
same cadence.
With the rower, I've got a torn rotator cuff, and
Good, right
from
now we're
rowing,
just
it feels
feeling
1,000
the
times better, and it will
Nice
for a couple days.
relaxation in between each
Eh,
stroke.
you know, it's
So just because
it's
we're relaxed
it
doesn't mean
works,
that we're collapsed.
and I like it, and it's part of the
Relaxed,
process of being
Not collapsed.
the
So
best you can possibly
that
be at
means
whatever
that we
stage in life that you
We're
are.
keeping our chest up. Good, a little bit of core support.
The reality is you don't
Core
need
support means that
a bunch of bells and
tall
whistles
from our
to get out and do
stomach.
something. Walking is an amazing
That does not
exercise,
mean
but if you're like
arching
me,
your back.
that's kind of a tough
That
task.
just means very neutral.
You could get the
squared
cheapest
off.
stationary bike
Neutral,
you can find out there off of
Not
Craigslist,
arched. Just feel like
and
your
get on it for 10 minutes a day and
shoulders are
increase
kind
it
of
to
stacked
15.
over your hips.
You can watch YouTube videos that are of bicycle races or just somebody who's a trainer that
Yeah,
is
try to
going on a
take
30-minute
that same
ride,
kind
and you
of
can go along with them, and you wind
breathe
up
time
in
around this finish.
Slovakia or Poland
Again,
or
a little bit of
you know,
core
wherever else, and looking
support.
at the
Hold
scenery
your
while you're
chest
trying to
up.
crank out a few miles, and you're going to feel better about
Hold
yourself.
your core
You're going to get yourself
in
a
a
little
nice,
better heart rate. One other
even
thing
position.
that I find to be very valuable to me is a smartwatch.
You might also ask, is it
Not
okay
only does
for
it
my
track
heels to
everything
come up?
that I'm doing
And the answer is,
in real time, so
That's
I
okay.
know how many calories
your
I've
heels can come
burnt,
up a little bit,
The most
right at
important
the
feature for me
most
is the
compressed
heart rate monitor
part
on
of
it.
the stroke.
This one's pretty accurate. I recommend the
That's okay for the heels to
Amazfit
come up
T-Rex
bent,
3 or
but
Falcon.
it also means
And the
that should be
reason
your
why
first
it's
motion.
important is
So, as
that
soon as those heels
I
come
live
up
in a very
and
hot
you
climate in the
feel that you're
summertime, hot
starting
and
to push
humid.
back,
Sometimes
at
it's a
that
bit
point,
deceptive
your heels
as
should be
to
pressing
how
down.
hard your body's working, and your
Kind of
heart
like a
rate
squat, like if
is
you
an
were doing
indicator of how hard your
squats.
body's working.
But
3 years
we're
in a
having more
row,
fun. We're in a boat.
I've had
You're in
very
the boat
close
with us.
encounters with heat
We're
exhaustion.
all rolling together.
So typically I might
Good,
go out
so
and ride my
since
bike
you
in the
are in the boat
street
with
and I'll
us,
have my heart
that means
rate
you
up
gotta
at
go in
normal
time.
of 116.
So again,
The
somewhere
resting
between that
rate would be
20
like
and
65,
22.
67.
Just work on that timing.
116 is good if I can get it up to an anaerobic rate of 120
Yeah,
to
taking the
124.
scenery.
That's pretty
Excellent.
good, no worries. But when it starts to get up to
Breathe
an
around the finish.
anaerobic of
Good, your breathing should
135,
be pretty
139,
relaxed. Again,
whereas
this workout's
normally
not
it
very
should be
intense.
116. I know
It feels
that my
focused.
body's working a lot harder than it should be,
So that exhale
and I need
should be
to
happening on
take
the
a
work,
break,
on
get
the
some
drive.
Gatorade, get in the shade,
Right,
do
so
something, and rest.
inhale on the way up.
Sometimes it's
Exhale on the way back.
deceptively hot out there and you don't realize how hard your body's working,
You don't
and
have to
it
make
could
all
kill
the
you.
faces that I'm making here.
And to
That's
quote
fine.
the outlaw
Just
Josie
keep
Wales,
your face nice and relaxed.
dying ain't much of a living boy. And so
Good. You just want to make sure
one other
everything else is
thing
working.
that
The legs,
this
the arms,
exercise or any kind of
and the
exercise
lungs.
is going to help you with is depression. And you know that's almost an
stuff.
epidemic now. I'm seeing
You're doing
that
great.
there are a whole bunch of
Coming up
people
on
that are
that
going through issues for various
13th
reasons.
minute.
And they cope with it in different ways. For me,
Just keep that
the
same
exercise
intensity.
helps
Again, let's try to
a
make sure
whole
we're not
bunch with any depression.
faltering in our speed.
It helps with my sleep, helps with self-esteem, it helps
Keep an eye
with a
on
lot
your
of
speed
different
there.
things. And so
That should be
maybe if
staying
you've got some
consistent.
things going on, you might want to consider
Again, stroke rate between 20 and 22.
going for a walk or doing some exercise that will
Good. We're just
help you
cruising.
in that department. And then a last note
Enjoying this sunset.
for all this
Hope you're
is
enjoying it with us.
I'm combining things for older people to pay attention
And if
to
not, you can go to one of our
that
other
are
workouts.
both dangerous and
One where
helpful.
we,
The internet has
get,
reached a tipping point.
nearly
Read
capsized by a
Malcolm
wave.
Gladwell's
That's a more
books
exciting
on
one.
Revenge of the Tipping
one's a
Point,
leisurely
etc. And it will basically means
one's
that
our
we've gone
Sunday
past
stroll.
a point of no return.
And it's
When
okay
it comes
to
to
have
artificial
those
intelligence,
workouts too.
social
We don't
media,
always
all
need to
those
be going
things,
ham.
they have reached a point where they're far more dangerous than they're
That's it,
helpful.
Just nice and relaxed.
People don't have any
Good long
control
strokes.
over them.
Again, keep an eye on that
They're
form
trying to
every once in a while.
legislate
Make
some
sure we don't start to
safeguards.
collapse.
Europe has
This is
thrown
good.
in a
It's good
whole
reminder
bunch
for me
of
too.
safeguards, laws, rules, but I don't think we're going to be able
Good
to catch
reminder for
up
Stacia
to
too.
what's
To
going
relax
on.
these shoulders. Nice long
And
arms.
then, by the same token, you can
Keep and
step
relax.
away from your smartphone
Great job.
and the Instagrams and
That's
the
it.
threads and the other stuff that's out there and get on a stationary bike or go for a walk or
Good.
do
Keeping
some
that
chair
breathing
yoga
very
or do
consistent.
something. Read a book,
Stroke rate
for
is
God's sakes. Do
consistent.
anything other than fill your mind with the pollution
Don't want to go too hard,
that is
too
there,
early.
and it is about to snowball down upon everyone on this
Good.
earth.
This is just our jog.